Hello and welcome to the Chatterbox Letters podcast. I'm doing a Q&A today for my podcast. I like to ask certain questions in order to find out what my podcast is all about for viewers. They need to find out what it's about. Okay, here's my first question. What is my job on my podcast? My job is to read your letters discreetly. I will give my point of view on what your letter is based on, whether if it's on the actual facts or current and past events. I will then give my feedback according to your letter or according to what your letter is based on, the actual facts and past or current events. That's it. Question number 2. What is the purpose for my podcast? I feel that your questions, thoughts, or concerns you may have can help other viewers. Viewing any kind of issue that may have concerning and for my point of view and feedback given by myself. So it's a big concern of, what the viewers can view and what they can hear about. Okay, question number 3. What are my plans for my podcast? I plan to make, this is the answer, I plan to make the Chatterbox Letters podcast go viral to be very sure that I will be able to reach almost everyone worldwide who may have their questions they want to ask or a thought they may want to share with me or a concern that bothers the minds of viewers and their souls. And that's I can give an answer to. Question number 4. Where to send your letter? Okay, the answer is you can send your letter to the Chatterbox Letters podcast. To my attention, author Terri Celestine Brunson. And it's at P.O. Box 5556, Lakeland, Florida 33807. Let me go ahead and repeat that. Send your letter to the Chatterbox Letters podcast. To my attention, author Terri Celestine Brunson, P.O. Box 5556, Lakeland, Florida 33807. Or you can send your letter via email address to the Chatterbox Letters podcast at gmail.com. Let me repeat that. You can send your letter via email address to the Chatterbox Letters podcast at gmail.com. Question number 5. What do you expect from potential clients? My answer to this is what I expect is for you, the author of your letter, to be discreet with your letter. Please don't send me threats of death or otherwise that will concern me and my staff. Please do not send letters that gives me a term smart aleck or joking around instead of being serious of what you write about in your letter. Don't get me wrong, I love jokes, but I feel people will be more interested in hearing the seriousness of a person's letter, if you get my drift. I like letters that will accommodate me and give me feedback and my point of view when it comes to being serious about what you write about. Question number 6. What are my goals for the Chatterbox Letters podcast? My goal is to welcome positive atmosphere, and I mean that, a positive atmosphere for everyone who will respect and honor my platform. That is all there is for me to provide the positivity on my platform. Question number 7. What are my hours on my platform? My hours are from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. plus depending on the letters on how many I have to read. Give my point of view and feedback. I will and I would like to keep my live podcast at least an hour or under an hour. That will be also Monday through Friday according to the dates and how many letters I have that is sent to me on a potential daily basis. Question number 8. Is there any last words I want to share with my viewers? Please, everyone, give me your support for my podcast by donating to my Cash App at cash.app/TCBL podcast. Let me repeat that again. You can send your donations to my Cash App at cash.app/TCBL podcast. You can visit my feed at r.ss. Let me repeat that. You can visit my feed at rss.com podcast/the Chatterbox Letters podcast. There you can donate there. Like and share and follow my Facebook page at facebook.com/the Chatterbox Letters podcast. Follow my Twitter account in order to receive updates at twitter.com/1 chatter podcast. If any problem is exceptionally serious, you can submit a ticket at the Chatterbox Letters Help Center at the Chatterbox Letters Podcast .talk, which is spelled TAWK.help. My last question, number 9. Does it cost you anything to become a potential client of the Chatterbox Letters podcast? I would say no, it doesn't cost you a dime to be a client of the Chatterbox Letters podcast. You send your letters to me, and I do everything. I will do my best to answer them, answer your questions, and then some. Every time just give me your letters. I answer them the best way I can. Everything else is totally free. The writing of your letter, emails, exceptionally accept the stamp because you know how that is. That's what you pay for to send me your letter. Okay, I'm getting ready to cut my pilot episode 1 for my first season 1. I hope you enjoyed my introduction. I hope I didn't bore anyone with my presentation. I would like to thank my viewers and your support for my first episode for my first season. Thank you and God bless.